What's up, everybody? This is Legal Tender coming at you with another video. Back in the building, I'm back in the vault. I'd like to thank everybody for watching and supporting the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I would also like to dedicate this episode to Honor Kamani Legacy Johnson. I'd like to welcome her to the family, so thank you, and this is for you. All right, so what I'll be talking about on this video, I will be talking about the different color Treasury seals and serial numbers that you may find on notes. Now, some people may think that a red $10 bill has more value than a blue $10 bill. That's not the case at all. $10 is $10. The only difference is the color of the ink. And with that, those different colors mean different things. And we're finna break that down on this video. All right, so throughout the years, the US government printed different types of money at different points throughout history. And like I said, those different colors mean different things. The notes that we currently have now and we use today are Federal Reserve notes. But at one point, we actually had gold certificates and silver certificates. Like I say, the notes that are most commonly known and used today are these notes right here. These Federal Reserve notes, FRN. So Federal Reserve notes, they will have a green Treasury seal and green serial numbers. These notes were first introduced in 1914, and they are backed by the US government in the 12 Federal Reserve banks. Now, on a previous episode, I already spoke about the 12 Federal Reserve banks. I'm gonna have another video coming up in the future where I will break down even more the 12 Federal Reserve banks. But a Federal Reserve note can be identified with the green seal and the green serial number. All right, so throughout the years, there have been many redesigns of this note and added security features to deter counterfeiters from producing this and putting it out in the market. So first one we got is the Federal Reserve note, green seal. Second note, red seals. These notes are known as red seals, legal tender, U.S. notes. That's the actual name of them, though. United States note. But red seals. So with red seals, these notes started during the Civil War and were in production for about 100 years. These notes were actually pieces of the national debt, and that means with the obligation, anyone that owned this note or owned a United States note owned a piece of the national debt. That's pretty crazy if you think about it. All right, these notes went out of circulation in the 1960s and were removed as legal tender in the mid 1990s. They're still spendable, and the only denominations that were printed in this note that made it to circulation are the 1s, 2s, 5s, and $100 note. The 10 and the 20 were printed too, but they was never put into circulation. So our legal tender red seals. All right. Next we have, I spoke about this earlier, silver certificates. You can see up top, it's identified as a silver certificate. So anytime you get a bill, it's real easy to identify if it's a legal tender, a silver certificate, gold certificate, so on and so forth. But all silver certificates, not all, there is one exception that's coming up. So silver certificates have blue seals and blue serial numbers. These notes first began circulating in 1878, and they were backed by the United States stockpile of silver bullion. these certificates could be redeemed for their value in silver. So you could take this to a bank or a treasury building and ask for 10 silver pieces or 10 silver coins, so on and so forth. All right, so at first, it was through an exchange of the certificate for silver dollar coins and later an exchange for actual silver bullion. These notes were printed and traded in the denominations of ones, fives, and tens. But in 1963, the notes were discontinued with the deadline of 1968 to turn in to get that exchange for silver coins or silver bullion. They have a current face value of nothing higher than the denomination. But if you have a bill that's in better condition, a little less wear and tear, you'll get more than face value for this note. Still look good though. All right, so this is our silver certificates. All right, next we got brown seals. We got a couple different brown seals. All right, so we have a National City Bank, which is a national currency note, and we have a Federal Reserve note. Identified up top that they're both national currency. Both got brown seals. Both got brown serial numbers. But the thing that's different with these notes right here, the difference between these two notes is that this note, all right, so national currency was printed and issued to banks. This was issued to a bank and marked with the state. So it came from this state and it has a charter number of affiliation. And that charter number is 1,461. These notes, they can be broken down in four different categories. Charter banks in the 3 years that they represent: 1862 to 1881, 1882 to 1908, and 1902. You can still see, got the brown seal there and the brown serial up top. So a bank would give you $10, the face value of this right here. That bank guaranteed that. With these Federal Reserve notes, it's 12 of them. The Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago guaranteed the face value of this note. That's the only difference. Like, this was absolutely guaranteed by the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, and this was guaranteed by the National City Bank of New York. It's the same, but it's different. And same old, same old. The back looks the same. As any other denomination that we'll see. So these are brown seals right here, our national currency notes. And like I said, I just recently found out about these, so I'm glad I got these in the collection. And I'm glad I got these two different bills in the collection because they're different. Let's see. This Treasury seal is a little bigger than this one down here. And I want to say, yeah, they both got the old Treasury stamp on it. All right, so those are the brown seals. Charter number there, no charter number up here because, like I said, it was backed by one of the 12 Federal Reserve banks. All right, another brown seal, but this one is different. All right, so both of these notes right here are emergency currency notes. And I'll explain what that means in a second. All right, so again, brown seal, brown serial number, but It's not national currency. It's a silver certificate. This note right here is a silver certificate. All right, so this Hawaii emergency note was issued in 1942 through 1944 during World War II. The word Hawaii appears twice on the obverse side in black. Hawaii on that side, Hawaii on this side. And also on the reverse side on the back. Got the word Hawaii. Okay, so with the Hawaii being printed on the back, this was done after the attack on Pearl Harbor with the intent that if Japanese forces invaded Hawaii, the bills would be rendered worthless. So that was an easy fix right there. These bills were made during conflict, and if the Axis forces was to take over Hawaii, all our currency would be in their hands, and they could potentially use that currency against us. So what the U.S. government did, they came up with these notes. They put a brown seal on it and put Hawaii, to where if this money was ever used anywhere, Congress could say any bill that has Hawaii or a brown seal is worthless and it loses all its monetary value. So that's a really smart thing to do right there. This bill look pretty clean too, man. Look at that. Like that $1 look kind of like, it got like a little silver little tint to it. The brown seal, the door looking note. It's a good looking bill. I like it. Then again with Hawaii on the back, still got the same background, but just Hawaii printed over. And this note was the denominations. This emergency currency was printed in. It was printed in 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s. And they all got Hawaii twice in the front and once in the back. The other emergency currency is this North African note. Now you won't find North Africa on this anywhere, but during another theater operation, we were engaged in conflict with the Axis forces and was going against Germany over in North Africa. So they had yellow seals put on these notes. Yellow seals, blue numeral, and you can see up top, silver certificate as well. So these are the only two exceptions with this Hawaii note and this North African note. That's what they're known as. These are silver certificates, but every other silver certificate will have a blue seal and blue serial number. All right, so we got a yellow seal on the right side, blue numeral on the left side. These notes were printed in two series. Excuse me. They were printed in the 1934 Alpha and 1935 Alpha series. The denominations of these notes were 1s, 5s, and 10s that they were printed in. And like the Hawaii notes, they were produced by the American government because they were worried that American money would become seized by German forces or Axis forces. If that was the case, anything that had a yellow seal, Congress could just say anything with a yellow seal, demonetized. So this would just be paper. The back, nothing special on the back. The front, the color, different colors on it. That's cool though. Got the yellow seal, the blue numeral, blue serial. From afar, it kind of stands, well, it don't kind of, it stands out. It's a nice looking note. Could dig it. All right. I'll probably like this note right here. I like this color the best. It got a couple different, they call this color a couple different things. Some call it olive green, sour apple green, lime green. But from what I'm looking at on my notes, it says yellow, green. These notes they first appeared in 1934, and they are Federal Reserve notes. What year is this? 1934. I'm trying to get all these right here. These notes were printed in every denomination, so I'm gonna try to build up that collection right there. And the obligation is pretty extensive too. Excuse me. I got an episode where I'll be speaking about obligations. So this is our 1934 lime green note. I like it. They actually say this is the most aesthetically pleasing note. So that means something. So that's all we got, but I'm actually missing a note. So give me 1 second. Let me go to the visual aid. All right, and we're back. All right, so what you see right now is a gold certificate. I'll zoom in a little bit more on that. All right, so that's the gold certificate right there. This bill was introduced in 1863. It has a yellow or gold seal on it. It's known as a gold certificate, meaning that the denomination of the banknote was backed by that same amount in gold. So you could go to a Treasury building or a bank and tell them that you want to exchange this gold certificate in for 20 gold pieces or 20 gold coins. Okay, so what else we got? Which meant that U.S. money was at one time backed by gold standard. It was suspended twice during World War I, which made it a free floating currency, like fiat currency. The currency that we use today. I got an episode I'll be speaking about that as well. Got a lot of episodes coming, so like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. All right, so the gold standard US dollar finally was discontinued in 1933 with the Gold Reserve Acts, which made it illegal for the public to be in possession of gold coins or certificates. However, in 1964, the act was lifted and the notes could be traded again, just like the silver certificates, the blue seals. So that's all we got for this one. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to thank you for watching and again supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to talking more about currency and numismatics with you. All right, till next time, keep it legal, keep it tender. Talk to you soon.